Hi folks, Nelly here. So, I tried shooting this video earlier, but it ended up being like over 15 minutes long, and it really does not need to be over 15 minutes long. So I'm going to talk a bit about Emelinda here, since, as I mentioned in the previous video, she is going to be a BJD. And I'm super excited to bring her to life as a BJD. First, though, I need to talk about some character notes for her and a little bit of her story and the newest development, actually, in her backstory that I completely did not anticipate the direction that it ended up going. So, first things first. Emelinda is going to be using the same body as Li Shuang here. Whoops. Which I think will suit her. The legs are not skinny enough to be Emelinda's, but the torso is perfect for her. Emelinda has a bit of a strange physical appearance. It's definitely not the typical BJD appearance. So one of the things is that, as you can see, her legs are very, very scrawny. And in character, in the story, I should say, her legs are still quite scrawny. And that's because she can't walk. She actually can't walk because she was experimented on for a very, very, very long time. And the last experiment that was performed on her saw her shot in the torso with a concentrated beam of radiation. And it burned her. And it burned her chest up to her neck. Not her arms, but her torso and her hips and just the top part of her thighs. Just enough that walking and moving is extremely painful. So Emelinda actually, at the Curiosity Shop where she works and lives, Emelinda is often seen sitting on a rolling wooden office chair. You know the type. That has some skull motif blankets and pillows on it. And that is basically her chair. And if she needs to move, then she will either kind of push on surfaces with her arms, or she'll get Benji to literally like cart her around in the chair. Now, obviously, a wheelchair of some sort would be a lot easier, especially since, as the Curiosity Shop exists outside of time and space, they have some really crazy advanced ones. However, Em has a lot of baggage surrounding wheelchairs. The first and only time she was ever in one was right after the scientists had decided that she wasn't of use anymore as an experimental subject, since because of the radiation burns she could not move. So they tied her into a wheelchair and pushed her down a hill so that she would drown in the river below. Now, she didn't actually reach the river. Miss Celeste jumped out of a door to the Curiosity Shop that appeared out of nowhere to grab Em before she actually reached the water. But after that incident, Em doesn't want to be in any sort of rolling chair that has wheels. Even the office chair was actually took a while, and it really had to be personalized to her, hence all the skull fabric stuff on it because she really likes skulls and flowers. And as you imagine, because one of the very big visual identifiers of Emelinda are her burns, specifically the burns on her chest, going way up her neck. That means I'm going to have to do some fun modding on this body. Now for Li Shuang, because obviously that's going to be visible on Li Shuang as well. In Li Shuang's case, it's actually supposed to be a birthmark. But in M's opinion, the burns are badges. It's her proof that she survived everything that's been tossed her way. And this next bit is actually a new development. The reason why she was able to survive everything that was tossed her way is not only does she have a strange power of regeneration and healing, she is quite literally a personification of death. And I didn't realize that until I was actually looking at the tights for her, and I went, okay, flowers and skulls, yeah, that's M. And I went, wait, why is that M? Because she's deaf. Wait, what? Yeah, it was a big shock. In the world she is from, I thought it was a myth, because I do have two other characters from the same world, and they're living statues. They are a depiction of a very popular legend about an inventor who captures lightning and actually tames lightning, who is personified as a woman, only to eventually be killed by lightning when she escapes. So I had that legend, and I had a couple other legends from that world where, you know, kind of natural elements end up being personified and kind of interacted with ordinary people, and they caused extraordinary things to happen. And then usually someone tried to control them, or tame them, or kill them, and then it ends up really, really horrible for that person, and in some cases the world, or countries itself. And that actually follows through with M. Because the same scientists who experimented on M for years and years and years, only to, they thought, cripple her, end up applying that knowledge to create weapons. And those weapons end up quite literally destroying all life on that planet. All life, that is, except for Simone and Peter, who are living statues and are not classified as the same sort of life. But Simone and Peter actually end up bearing witness to the planet essentially being reborn and repopulated with plants and animals eventually, much to Simone's hatred. Let's put it that way. Their statues, they end up being birds, and they can't do anything about the birds. So yeah, that's what I found out about M. That's probably the shortest I'm going to be able to explain who she is. Or a bit about her story, rather. I didn't really tell you much about who she is as a person. I'll probably do that when she actually arrives as a doll. So now I'm just going to end with a song actually featuring a Lady Death, as well as the photos from the company of her head sculpt, of the blank head, and of the clothes that she is getting. So yeah, that is everything. Okay, bye everyone.
Trois grands coups à ma porte frappée. Oh, qui va là de si bon matin? Ce visage-là ne me dit rien. Une robe noire, des yeux éteints, une grande faux à la main.
Je suis la mort et je viens te chercher. Je t'emmène devant les jurés. Ce sera à eux de décider où tu passeras l'éternité.
Oh, ça va mal, ça va mal. Tu parles